Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with a school system update. Well, we're approaching the end of the 2020-2021 school year. A school year, as you know, as we all know, like no other. We spent the entire year working with students either in a hybrid model or remote model, and finally back in person over the last month and a half of the school year. Well, through every test and challenge, people learn things, and we've learned something through the pandemic and through the adjusting and adapting that we've had to bring to the school system and public education in Westford. We've learned about the efficacy of remote learning. Good for some students, not necessarily for other students. But we know that some students are capable of engaging in sustained learning on a remote basis. Not necessarily advocating that, because I am a firm believer that a great teacher in direct contact, in personal contact with a student creates the greatest results in terms of child development. Because there's nothing like that smile, that encouraging and inspiring remark, a pat on the back, or a star on a paper to indicate to a student that they've done something that is very commendable. And so that contact, that connection is so important to restore and maintain in educating our children. We learned about the resilience of our staff and the students also, the psychological strength of not being with each other for extended periods of time, being alone sometimes in terms of learning and the acquisition of knowledge. We've learned something about the impact of isolation on social, emotional, and well-being of students, anxiety and depression and stress in general, as reported by the excellent physicians on our COVID advisory committee. And once again, we've learned how very important it is to connect in this profession. It's what life is all about, establishing connections between people, but it's more important with a young child at the preschool, kindergarten, elementary level, and on up, to be able to hear inspiring, motivating, encouraging comments and looks from a staff member. So there's reason to look ahead with great optimism. Hopefully we'll be back to more normal conditions for the next school year. As you know, I'll be retiring in quotes, at the end of this school year in just another week and a half. Hopefully, I'll be a superintendent somewhere else next year for a community, whether it be in Massachusetts or some other New England state, because I'd like to keep working for a while, because this is a profession that I've known and I've loved for 50 years. Very privileged, and will always say that to you. I have been privileged every single day of the year, every year of the 35 years that I've spent in Westford. 16 of those years as a superintendent of schools. And interestingly, the Westford Historical Society informed me that their records go back to the mid-1800s. And in looking at all of the people who have served as superintendent, and there have been some great ones over the last 150 years or so or plus, I believe I'm second in terms of longevity of serving the town of Westford as a superintendent behind Dr. Lloyd Blanchard. So that's quite an honor to be in the company of Dr. Blanchard, who was a highly revered superintendent for 25 years. So as I leave here, I hope that I've helped contribute in some small way in working with everyone else in the school system to create a school system that you have been proud of and will continue to be proud of, with Dr. Chu now leading the way as of July 1st. And for now, I wish you and your family the greatest success, happiness, and good health in your future, and I hope our paths cross again. It's been a privilege knowing all of you and working with you to educate our children in this wonderful, wonderful town. I'll see you again.